again. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, you belong. We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will stand. Come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are everyone thriving. We are in the community with God's authority till everyone is heard. Go and spread the word. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Here we are once again. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, you belong. We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will stand. Come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are everyone thriving. We are in the community with God's authority till everyone is heard. Go and spread the word. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Here we are once again. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, you belong. We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will stand. Come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are everyone thriving. We are in the community with God's authority till everyone is heard. Go and spread the word. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Here we are once again. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, you belong. We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will stand. Come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are everyone thriving. We are in the community with God's authority till everyone is heard. Go and spread the word. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family. We're in the community. Here we are once again. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, you belong. We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will stand. Come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are everyone thriving. beyond. It's no community with God's authority. Till everyone is heard, go and spread the word. Everyone driving, everyone driving. We are a family word in the community.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody is doing great. That was the new Word Tabernacle welcome song. See what happens when you jump on early with the pastor on Coffee Chat. You get exposed to some stuff that normally you would not get exposed to. So I know y'all are chatting your way, looking at a little bit of that. So good morning. Let's pray. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for life and how precious it is. Thank you for loving us, and thank you for providing for us. Thank you for gifting us. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for early rising and a reminder that from the rising of the sun until the going down of the same, your name is worthy to be praised. Thank you for everyone that's here on the Coffee Chat, all the platforms that people may be on. Pray that you honor and are glorified by everything we talk about. It's in Jesus' name we ask it. Amen. So good morning, everybody. Glad y'all are all here. The Coffee Chat situation for me, and would you do this? Because I don't think at all, we have a pattern on stuff. We get some stuff right, we get some stuff wrong. Fortunately, God is gracious enough that we get a little bit more right than we get wrong, but we still get a lot wrong. And so we'd love to get your feedback on that new welcome song. I'll play it again at the end of the Coffee Chat, one iteration through before we log off. We intend to sing that on Easter Sunday, so that's when that'll get exposed to everyone. But we want to start getting people used to all of the things about it so we can join in, sing together, celebrate, and really lean in our community. So please give us your feedback. I really appreciate the work of the team. Lots of people on our team, Kendra, Audrey, I think Rachel submitted something. Several people submitted stuff. We took all that together. We took the core values of the church. So you're going to see reference like unity and community and authority, because those are core values of the church. So those core values got woven in. And then, of course, we are family, which is a hallmark for us. And then everyone thriving. So we took all of that together and created a song. And so we'll be singing that on Sunday mornings as we greet each other, and just wanted to give y'all a little exposure to that. So no rhyme or reason to my coffee chats. It's really more when I get a sense of heaviness and weight, where I feel like the train is taking off and we still have people in the terminal. And whenever we do that, I like to pump the brakes for a moment and just make sure let's get everybody back to the turn. Let's get the train back to the terminal. Let's make sure we open all the doors, get everybody in before we take off. And so that's really what Coffee Chat is about for me, just making sure that we're all on the train, moving in the same direction, that we have our questions answered and our concerns addressed. And we have just a tremendous amount of work ahead of us, a tremendous amount of ministry ahead of us. And I don't want anyone getting lost in the midst. If you have questions, type them in. I run through a platform like we do Sunday service when I do these coffee chats. And because of that, I'm about 2 minutes or so difference in our time. So if you don't get your question in early, I'll miss it. So please make sure we have it, okay? And we will, the executive team will put it in our chat. So I want to cover a couple things that I think will be relevant for us, okay? First of all, just a reminder, because we won't talk a lot about this, it's my least favorite Sunday of the year tomorrow, because it's spring forward, so we lose an hour of sleep. So just be reminded of that as we prepare for tomorrow. We'll still be here 8 o'clock service, 10 o'clock service, but just as a reminder, remember, spring forward, we lose an hour of time today. So a couple things that are happening. One of the reasons, and let me apologize for any preparation that went into today's, would have been today's men's roundtable and women's roundtable. I know people work to make these things happen, and then I made a decision, I think on Wednesday, like, you know what, let's cancel them for this month, because we have so much going on, and I really want to direct our time, energy, and resources to the things that we have going on, and that's really what I want to focus on. And so, first and foremost is church anniversary, 21 years next week, and it's been phenomenal. And this is at the heart of a lot of what I'm going to talk about today, is just the generational shift. Many people forget this, but when I came to this city, I was 39 years old, and I'm not anymore, y'all. And so there's a generational shift. Depending on the sociologists that we study, generally they'll tell us that a generation is anywhere from 20 to 30 years. And so with Gen Z, millennials, that is even dropped to like 15 to 18 years, but definitely in that 20-year mark. So there's been, I've led the church for a generation, 21 years now. And because of that, in order for us to stay viable and vibrant and dynamic and God honoring and spiritual, we have to be able to shift and adjust, ebb and flow. And so 21, so you're going to hear that theme about generational shifting and adjustment. You're going to see it. I mean, we see it in our pastoral staff, right? We now have five staff pastors. We see it in the evolution of our music department. We see it in the evolution of Next Gen. You know, for many years, Kyle came here as a middle school director, and then became youth director, and then Next Gen. You know, now he has a whole nother responsibility where the next generation is under him with that next gen. So there's been iterations. We see it with the Impact Academy in our lower school, with the shifting of Latoya, and we just see it with the new members that we brought onto the team, like Casey and Jesse and Rhonda, who's been with us forever, but in a full-time capacity. So all of this is part of that generational shift that I want us to focus in on and see what God is up to. So I suspended those roundtables because I really want to focus our energy on what we have going on. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is our 21st anniversary banquet. Friday night, please go ahead and register because we have limited seats. And then Saturday is our prayer conference. And I just really want to encourage us. Like, I think there are things relative to the kingdom of God that need to become popular again. I think prayer is one of those things. And I think there's a question coming in. So, and just go ahead and they'll get them to me and I'll address the questions at the end. Okay. So make sure y'all guys put them in the exec team chat for me. So we have limited number of seats, but we hope to have everybody together. We're going to Friday night just talk a little bit about our history and just enjoy each other, you know, food and dance, and just have a great time. Saturday is the prayer conference, and I want us to make in vogue some things that historically have not been in vogue again. We don't realize, even Bible study as an example, because our sanctuary, our CPAW is so large, we don't recognize that, you know, we still maintain a really large in-person membership, in-person attendance at Bible study, you know, literally in the 700-800 mark. Our old, just to give you context, our sanctuary on Nashville Road seated 450 people. Our next sanctuary here, that's now the banquet room, seated 850 people. And now we seat 1,900 people. And so, you know, we still, if we were in any of our old buildings, we would be at capacity for Bible study at 12 noon. That's how well attended it is. I want to keep that going. I also want prayer to be popular. And so I'm asking us to make the sacrifice of being present for prayer from 9 to 12. We have a wonderful model set up where we're going to be teaching, actually praying, and worshiping. And I think it's just going to be impactful. I'm looking forward to ministering that day, and it's going to be a great day. It's 9 a.m. to 12 noon. And so be here next Saturday. That's literally 1 week from today. Let's get in the room and let's pray together. I believe God wants to do something major. I think he wants Word to be a part of it. At 6 p.m., Dr. Jasmine Schoolark from the D.C. area will be with us. She's going to conduct a leader seminar, and then we'll have dinner together. And then Sunday morning for worship at 8 a.m., Dr. Starsky Wilson, who's been with us before, will be with us at 8 a.m. And then at 10 a.m., Dr. Jasmine Schoolark will be preaching. And so it's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful day of worship. I don't generally say this to us as a church, but because it's church anniversary, we should all endeavor as much as possible to be at both services. I mean, we should just fill up the place, stay here, be here, worship here. Dr. Wilson will be phenomenal. Dr. Jasmine will be great. And it's just going to be a great day of worship, a great weekend of worship. So be mindful of that. Looking forward to make sure you register. Everything is on the Ministry One app. Again, this is just me making sure that the train doesn't leave without everybody, okay? So church anniversary, everybody say 21 years, type that in, 21 years. I want to also, again, go back to making things more popular that aren't as popular. Lent is one of those things. We're in the midst of Lent. We have a 6 a.m. We have a devotional. We have a modified fasting guideline that we're following, but we also worship at 12 noon. And I just want to encourage us to not be the house that if Pastor G is not the one preaching, then I'm good. We have to. I was going back through. My mother kept all of my cassette tapes from when I started preaching. I mean, gosh, some of these cassette tapes are 40 years old, or maybe even 40 years old. And every once in a while, I'll pop one in and just painfully go through the process of like, these people were saints. The people in Philadelphia at Gethsemane United Methodist Church, Tioga United Methodist Church, Zion Baptist Church, Triumph Baptist Church, where I cut my teeth early as a minister, man, they were so supportive of me when I had still so much to learn. And that's one of our responsibilities, is just making sure that we're creating platform, which generally is not available on Sundays, right? So to create a platform where people can be trained and minister, and we can support that. And so I want to invite you to press on to these Wednesday 12 noon services. And if you can't get in the building, I mean, take your lunch hour. It's a 45-minute service, but I think it's powerful for us to be present to worship together. And so I want to lift that up. I lift Bible study up. If you have questions, go ahead and type them in. How cool is this? We just launched Word Tab Espanol. Now, be very clear. I don't speak a word of Spanish. Not a word, okay? No hablo español. Is that how you say it? But the wonders of technology, we have been able to, we're only about it may be 8 or 10 churches in the nation, and we're one of those churches that are using artificial intelligence in a very robust, sophisticated manner to translate for us from English to other languages. We're starting with Spanish. I want to add several other languages, and we're going to be prayerful about how God moves the nations that we're reaching people in, how we can be most effective. But I just want, if you have Spanish-speaking friends, every Bible study and every sermon will be translated every week, and it will be posted on the YouTube channel, the Word Tab Espanol. I want to thank you for your faithful giving. Technology like this is not cheap. Working with the consultants to bring it to bear is not cheap. Posturing Word Tabernacle as a premier house of worship to be even able to pilot this type of technology is not cheap. And it's because of your faithful giving that we're able to reach now a whole nother demographic. And so thank you very much. If you are one of those people maybe on the sidelines about your giving, I just want to ask you to look at the track record and look at what the Lord is doing, and please be faithful in it, because I think God is up to something really amazing. And so thank you for that. So Word Tab Espanol is up and running. You'll see this is not the old. Do y'all remember? Now I'm dating myself, but do y'all remember like when I was growing up in Philly, we could go to the movie theater for like $1, and we could watch like 3 kung fu movies, like back to back to back for like $1. And so we would go to neighborhood theater, pay the $1, and we watch like, I don't know, they're 1.5 hours each, right? So 4.5, 5 hours we in there. You know, sometimes it was dark by the time we got out, but it was like it was what they were saying and the movement of their mouth was not the same thing, right? So it would be like, do you understand what I'm saying? So it'd be like, you know, with our AI technology, when you look at body language, facial expressions, my lips, it is perfect. It is if I am the one actually speaking the Spanish. And so this is an evangelism tool for us. This is an outreach tool for us. This will extend into other areas. We're creating welcome signs that now have multiple languages. We just recently had a meeting with our Haitian community, our Jamaican community, and our African community, Kenya and other countries. And so we have an ever increasing population of people that are not African Americans coming to our church, and we want to make sure that we are doing our level best to reach that population. So really celebrating the team. It is a major win and accomplishment for us as a ministry. And I'm excited and I'm proud. I really am proud that it's another tool in the tool belt for us to reach as many people as we possibly can reach. So thank you for that. If you have a question, please go ahead and type it in, and the team is going to send them to me. And once I go through my agenda, we'll go to your questions, okay? All right. So we talked about Spring Forward. We talked about church anniversary, just for those who just logged in. We talked about Lent. We talked about Bible study. We talked about Word Tab Espanol. Family business meeting. This is a big deal. This is Sunday, March 29th. And as you know, that's a fifth Sunday. March 29th is a fifth Sunday. Because it's a fifth Sunday, we have one service at 9 a.m., which is our Bless Francis service. By the way, if you missed Bible study on Tuesday, I'm teaching on the mandate of evangelism. I personally think the teaching was revelatory and not convicting, but empowering. You know, that was the thing. It's like, how do I teach on evangelism without like making everybody feel horrible because they're not? But I think the word empowered people to recognize the real power of the gospel and why we need to be sharing it. So on those fifth Sundays, we do that at 9 a.m., inviting people that we've been praying for. And that was a homework assignment. And I hope you've identified your Francis people, your 7 people, did those 3 circles that I asked you to circle, and then praying every day for those people. You don't have to reach out to them yet. You don't have to do anything yet. Just pray for them. And this is what I'm going to tell you. Pray and watch God move. Pray and watch God move. So, fifth Sunday, March 29th, we only have the one service at 9 a.m. Well, immediately following that service, we're going to go into a business meeting. We have only done this one other time in the life of the church. I know you're going to think that I'm being extreme and I'm exaggerating. I am not. It literally is the second most important meeting we have ever had in the history of this church. The single most important meeting we've ever had in the history of the church was the meeting in March to constitute the church and to make us a church. Since then, we've had between 2 and 4 business meetings a year, every year for 21 years. Well, this meeting is different because in addition, of course, we'll give you our finances, how we finish the year. So keep in mind, the bylaws say within 90 days at the close of the second and fourth quarters, we have to have a business meeting. So the fourth quarter ended December 31st. And so this is that 90-day window, which is why the March 29th date is so important. So the meeting will happen. No matter what, it will happen. We'll go through, as we always do, the principal areas of the ministry. So you'll get a 5-minute presentation on like the top 5 things. But in the PowerPoint presentation will be other things that you can focus on. And then Shavonda will do a deep dive on the finances. This will be year ending 2025. So this is the business meeting that closes out 25. Just letting you know how we finished the year, what our profit and loss statement looks like, what our net assets look like, all of those kinds of things, okay? I'll do a state of the church report. But this is what is different. We have matters of vote on the agenda. We rarely have matters of vote. I want to say the bylaws have been amended 5 times, I believe, maybe 6. This is maybe the 6th time in 21 years. So the board of directors approved 2 major, really 3 major things. 2, 3. 2 of them are connected. That's why I was hesitating. Hey, y'all, I've got my water here. Let me take a swig. So the board of directors approved language in our bylaw changes. As you know, or as you should know, if you don't know, you will know now, the congregation then has to vote to approve what the board of directors authorized. That's what will happen at this meeting. Now, this means a couple of things. First of all, it means that if you're going to be watching online, please actually register your YouTube. We're going to post a link. This is actually instruction for the staff. We'll post a link inside of Shelby so that people can register for the business meeting. And we need your full name and your member number. Only members are eligible to vote. You can be anyone to watch, but only members can speak, ask a question, or vote on matters of vote. In order to do that, we need your name and member number. Now, the way voting works at Word Tabernacle, it has for 21 years, is we assume a yes vote to whatever we have put forward. But there is a dissent sheet. So if you disagree with the bylaw change, you can sign the dissent sheet. If you do nothing and you've registered, it assumes a yes vote. That is how we've always voted in 21 years. We'll continue to vote. That's how we keep all the drama down at our business meetings. So we don't have all that. Now, on the church website this coming week, under resources and then family meeting, you will see the bylaw language changes because we have to give you those changes 2 weeks ahead of time. Okay? I can't begin to tell you how big a deal this is. Our bylaws don't cover some things that need to be covered. And I shouldn't say that. We've not had to cover them before. One of the things is, so what did the board approve? First of all, the board approved the dissolving of the current board of directors and current board of elders and consolidating them into a unified council of elders model. The council of elders will have full fiduciary and spiritual responsibility for the life of the church. I will remain as senior pastor, chair of the council of elders. That training on the elders will commence the beginning of next month, go through November. It's a 6-month training. And then they will be formally ordained as elders, as lay elders, at our ordination in November. And then effective January 1, they will take on their responsibilities for fiduciary responsibility and spiritual responsibility of the church. So big deal. First of all, that's huge. That's a major structural change. If you go back to the theme of the coffee chat, it's because we're in a generational shift. The time is going to come, whether we like it or not, where I will not be the senior pastor. When that time comes, we don't want to have any loose ends and any gaps. So when I do retire, I will become pastor emeritus. And let me just say to y'all, this is where more than ever I want you to trust my leadership. We did not spend 21 years, and by the time I become pastor emeritus, 25 years, we did not spend all of these years letting God use us to build what he built for it to fall apart, which is why we are being diligent in making sure that there are no loose ends. Every week, we're either conducting a funeral, presiding at a funeral, preaching a funeral, or supporting a funeral every single week. Many of those weeks, there are people younger than me. I hope I live another, 30, 35, 40 years. But here's the truth of the matter. The data says I'm going to live another 14 to 15. That's what the data says. It would also be unwise and arrogant of me to assume I'm going to wake up in the morning. We don't want any loose ends. What happens if suddenly I become incapacitated? What happens if I'm suddenly incapable of performing my assignment, my calling as senior pastor? What happens? We don't have clear enough language on that in our bylaws. This will address that gap. The reason it addressed the gap is because the board of directors approved that upon my retirement as senior pastor, I will be named pastor emeritus. The bylaws will indicate that approval. So when I do retire and we have the next successor that comes in, and he'll be walking alongside of me for 2 years. So we'll all know who the person is ahead of time, and we'll go through a due diligence. So the bylaw changes spell out what the pastor emeritus process looks like. Things like, as pastor emeritus, I no longer chair the council of elders. I have a seat on the council of elders, but I don't have a vote on the council. But all of these things come into play that we want to go ahead and address, okay? So this business meeting is huge because it covers, and it'll be an editorial comment when we post it, and it'll give you all of the changes, and then you'll see the actual changes, okay? So again, this is to position Word Tabernacle so that the next generation, the next pastor, has a successful pastorate, and the church does better under that new leadership than it has ever done under my leadership. I mean, the bylaws also address what happens in the event, let's say it's 20 years from now, and that pastor becomes incapacitated. What do we do? So it addresses all of that. Who steps in as the interim pastor? We spell that out in the new language. So again, this really positions us in a way that I don't know of a church positioned this well. And so I hope everybody's understanding. Y'all comment from me. Do you understand the significance of this March 29th meeting? And so please, I want to address your questions. You'll see the language ahead of time so you can address your questions. There is a dissent sheet if you disagree, okay? But I will tell you, great effort has gone into making sure that Word Tabernacle is well positioned as we move forward as a ministry. And that's a good place to say amen. Okay, we talked about losing an hour sleep in spring forward. We talked about the church anniversary. We talked about Bible study. We've talked about Lent. We talked about Word Tab Espanol. We've talked about the family business meeting. Let me see. We talked about the registration. We talked about the matters of vote. We talked about the agenda. We talked about the pastor emeritus designation. We talked about the board of directors and board of elders combining to council of elders. All right. Holy Week. Told y'all we had that's why I had to pull the train back. We back at the terminal, y'all. I need everybody on the train. If you're on the train, type that in. I'm on the train. So we pulling the train back into the terminal. Holy Week. As y'all know, I keep saying, we're Baptist Methodist. I'm going to keep leaning in on that because we are, and I'm proud of it. Our doctrine is Baptist, our liturgy is Methodist, and our worship has elements of Pentecostal spontaneity. Part of my Methodist roots was paying careful attention to Lent and particularly Holy Week. The Lord has led me to do something different that I've ever done before. And that is leaning in more heavily on Holy Week than ever before. We've always done the normal Tuesday Bible study that I do sort of a Holy Week message instead. This week, we're all the way in. We always do a Wednesday service because we're in the middle of Lent. We have a service every Wednesday. But we have themed it out this year. Tuesday, I'll suspend Bible study and I will preach at 12 noon on Tuesday. A Holy Week relevant message on Jesus. Think about this. A third of everything that is written in the Gospels, you know this because you're a wordite and I teach it to us. But a third of everything that is written in the Gospels about Jesus occurs during Holy Week. A third of his whole ministry, 3.5 years of ministry, and a third of what's written is 7 days, a 7-day time span. This is my point. Clearly, Holy Week is a big deal in the scriptures Because it is a big deal in the scriptures, we need to make it a big deal. Everybody say make it a big deal. And would y'all share this with other folks, because there's going to be a lot of people who miss this. So because it's a big deal in the scriptures, Word is making it a big deal this year, a bigger deal than ever before. Tuesday, I'm preaching, 12 noon. There's going to be worship. It won't be a lot of worship. We're going to walk into a song. There's going to be a song before I preach, and then I'm going to preach, and then we're going to leave on a song. Still 45-minute service. Wednesday, I think Cynthia Howard closes us out on that Wednesday. I want us to fill the chapel. Just have standing room only. We're going to worship together. She's going to minister the word, and that's going to be right on Wednesday. Now, here it is. We've never done this. Thursday, there will be a Maundy Thursday service. There will be a worship service at 7 p.m. on Thursday. Why, Pastor? Because Jesus says, a new commandment I give to you. That word command, that he spoke this on the Thursday of the Passover before he was betrayed and crucified on Friday. Thursday, what did he do? He served communion. He said to them, a new commandment I give to you, to serve. That word commandment is the Latin mandate, mandatum. That's where Maundy comes from. It is a mandate. It is a commandment. Jesus said, I'm telling you to do this. And then he washes the disciples' feet. So what we're going to do that Thursday, we're going to worship. We're going to serve communion, and we serve an old school communion. I'm talking about passing the trays, grabbing your element like we used to do, keeping your communion cup home with you. We're going to serve communion because that's what Jesus did on that Thursday. And then he washed the disciples' feet. We're going to wash feet. So we'll worship, we'll have communion, and then for those who absolutely have to leave, we'll dismiss. But then those of us who will remain, I will wash the feet of staff, executive team leadership, and then they in turn will begin washing feet of leaders, and our leaders in turn will wash the feet of people who they minister over. Everyone will be given a personal towel with a reminder that a commandment has been given to us to serve. So we're going to dry your feet with your towel, and we're going to hand you your towel. And it's going to be a reminder of the mandate of a new commandment I give you. That's going to happen on Thursday, y'all. And then on Friday is Good Friday. And you know, if Word doesn't do anything right, we do Good Friday right. It's on Stir Voice this year. We're weaving in a full production, a combined production with music and dance and drama for the first 55 minutes. And then we'll go right into preaching. Of course, 10 a.m., fish, chicken, food, lunch, early lunch. We're gonna pilot something with next generation pastors. Our state is being flooded with younger, under 40-year-old, thereabout pastors, under 45-year-old pastors. I want to platform them, and we're going to platform them this year. And so we'll have two of our staff pastors preaching, Pastor Stephanie and Pastor Kyle, but then we have pastors coming from Burlington, North Carolina, Greensboro, Raleigh, Wake Forest, Weldon. And we have young pastors coming that will present the 7 last words of Christ. So 10 a.m., eating together, fellowshipping, the Passion of Christ, or the Color of the Cross, not sure which yet. And then major presentation by our production area. This is a big deal for me. I want to say to y'all, I'm rarely, there's very few things as your pastor that I'm really dug in about. Good Friday is one of them. I grew up in a culture where nobody went to school on Good Friday. In Philadelphia, you probably had, you could probably pick 100 different churches to go to for Good Friday service. And it was just premier. And that has been our culture at Word. I mean, it's the only time. We have a lot of part-time staff. They work other jobs. It's the only time I say to them, I'm expecting y'all to make the sacrifice and to be here on Good Friday. We're Christians. This is that moment that we most lean in to the death and the burial of Jesus. It is really what paves the way for Sunday. I think that's worthy of a sacrifice. If you believe that's worthy of a sacrifice, just type that in. This Good Friday is not the day I don't sacrifice. That it's not the day. You can pick another day, but Good Friday is not that day. So, I mean, if y'all remember, y'all, historically at Word, we've had service twice. We used to do a 12 noon to 3 p.m. and then a 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I remember having years where we had 14 sermons that day. So we had our internal ministers, and then we had external ministers. So Good Friday is major. We exhale a little bit Saturday, and then Sunday is 6 a.m. women's only service, 8 a.m. service, 10 a.m. service. It's going to be great. Really building us up to something like we've never done before. This is my ask of you. Don't let the train leave without you. We want to wash feet. We want to serve communion together. We want to worship together. And so, all right, spring forward. I'm going to go about 5 more minutes, 7 more minutes, and I'll take questions. We talked about church anniversary. We talked about Lent. For those just joining us, we talked about Bible study. We talked about Word Tab Espanol. We talked about the family business meeting. We've talked about Holy Week. Make sure I didn't forget anything in Holy Week. Tuesday, March 31st, worship, I'm preaching. Wednesday, April 1st, Minister Cynthia is preaching. Thursday, April 2nd, I'm preaching that night. We're going to have communion. We're going to foot wash. Good Friday, April 3rd, we're going to do all the great things we normally do. Going to be amazing. Easter Sunday, 3 services. Amazing. That week we'll exhale, okay? That week we'll exhale. Listen, I'm doing something different with men. I'm working on a cohort, a 12-week cohort. Again, we're in a generational shift, and I don't know if the every month model still connects. I really want to get hundreds and hundreds of men connected. And so be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for the men's cohort. Be on the lookout for that, okay? Men, we are doing great work at Central Prison. We are leaning in on a whole nother level of prison ministry. Same thing with women. If you've got a desire for outreach, prison ministry, other ministries, please get with Pastor Trishanda. We want to connect y'all in. We also want to make sure everyone is serving. This issue of being in a small group or being in an affinity group or being in a generational group is really at the crux of who we are, where we're headed, I should say. Not who we are, but who we desire to become. There is a serve tab on a Shelby or Ministry One. If you want to serve at Word in any capacity, if you want to help other people get plugged into that, please, please, please follow up with that. We want to build out our small groups like never before. We want to build out our affinity groups like never before, our generational groups like never before. Almost done. We want to honor our pillars. And again, this is your last chance to, if you have questions, to jump on in. And if you're excited, put in some clap hand emojis, some worship hands, something. So I know y'all are with me here. We are trying to lean in on our pillars: faith, family, fitness, finance. Field means the work we do in the community and outreach. And future means pouring into the next generation, right? Making room for that next generation. There's going to be a leadership shift, y'all. I mean, if I'm making room to shift leadership after 21 years, people that have been in the same ministry roles and leadership, we need to be talking about succession in all of our areas, right? This is a shift. God is going to elevate the work. I really believe that. I think we're in a unique place. And the Lord can I tell y'all something the Lord's laid on my heart? I'm going to do a letter / postcard. I don't know if I'm going to do both or just one. And I'm going to do an email, and I'm going to do a phone message to every former member. I've never, ever, ever done that before in the history of the church. And I just basically want to say, listen, things happen. Offenses occur, misunderstandings happen. This moment is too pivotal for us not to have every resource and every gift that God has given us at the table. And you can, in the letter and in the phone, I'm like, just, If you want to never again hear from us, just hit a certain button or just say, please remove me altogether from any communication, and we'll gladly do that. But the Lord has in my heart that it could be 5 people, it could be 10 people. I think they just need to be asked again to come back. They need to know it's okay to come back. So I think it's just in my spirit, because I really believe God is going to use Word as a pivotal church to kind of help lead a reformation and revival that I believe he wants to release in the land. And in order to do that, we need every human being that God has gifted who says, let me say what the Lord told me. He said this to me about men, and he said this to me about just believers in general. This is not the season to be on the sidelines or the bench. This is not the season to be on the sidelines or the bench. And I'm about to say something deep. It's also not the season to underutilize your gift. And so if your gift can be better utilized here, we want it. We want it. So I'm going to be doing that as well as we lead up to Easter. So that's been in my heart. So back to the pillars: faith, family, fitness, finance, field, future. Well, on the fitness side, we opened up wellness at the point. We just authorized a small capital project clearing 20 acres of land at Westmount Drive. And so behind the gym building, we're in the gym building. Every Monday, 6 to 7 is a group workout. 7 to 9 is running ball, open gym, whatever the thing is. We are now clearing out 20 acres over there. Our goal, not saying we're going to get across the finish line, but it's my dream, it's my lofty goal, is to get a softball field, a walking trail, and us to pave a few pickleball courts and a few tennis courts and a few basketball courts and put out a few grills so that it can become our wellness environment. And so that's what we're working on. We're clearing it out now. He started clearing. So we're going to clear 20 acres, and then we're going to sell a group of our trees just beyond the 20 acres. The selling of the trees will have to offset the cost of all that clearing. So we'll kind of be even money. Of course, it's going to really cost us when we talk about astroturf and seeding it and getting in the tennis courts and laying some concrete, laying asphalt, whatever we have to do. But I really want to encourage us to pay attention to our bodies. Y'all, we need to take care of them. You know, we're all aging. If you look at pictures of those of us who were on board 21 years ago, 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I am 22 pounds heavier. I needed it, so it's all good. But a little bit of it is in that midsection, right? So I'm working on that. I want to encourage you to show up and walk, work out, move your body. Somebody type that in: move your body, move your body. And so I want to encourage you to move your body, participate with us. Every time you see something that lines up with our pillars, I want to encourage you as a wordite to lean in that space. And then finally, Sunday, April 26th. Told y'all it's a lot going on. Sunday, April 26th, and then I'm going to questions. 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. service. That's a fourth Sunday. Guess what that is? That is my 26th pastoral anniversary. Hard to believe the last 26 years of my life have been committed to God's people. And so one of my mentors and friends, Dr. DeForest Soares, is going to be with us. One of the things I wanted to accomplish on my birthday is to launch our D-Free and launch the finance side of our pillar. And that's why I wanted DeForest Soares to come. He's going to preach, even though he's joking about getting older. We're going to have him preach both services, 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Sunday, April 26th. You know his preaching. He's going to challenge us. And then that Tuesday, we're going to actually launch our D-Free movement again in cohort so we can make sure our finances are tight. Not just the church finances, but our personal finances, okay? I will make an ask of you. He's not going to preach the same sermon. I'm going to ask you. It's my anniversary. I get to ask what I want, right? It is my anniversary. Come to both services. Come to both services. Let's worship together. I would love to have everybody in the room celebrating 26 years of pastoral anniversary. So look, that's everything I've covered. Let me go to questions, y'all. So hang in there with me. I've got a bunch of stuff here. Here we go. Y'all ready? Question, comment. I'm going to the top, y'all. All righty, here we go. Coffee chat question from Quincy McCoy. Pastor, I have a question. What will be the E-City dates going forward for the year regarding Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day? I believe, I don't have them in front of me. I believe if someone can help from the staff, because I don't have the calendar in front of me. Let me pull it up really fast, Quincy. 2 of the 3 we're doing, but one falls on a 5th Sunday, and because of that, we're not going to do that particular one. And so I believe we are doing Memorial Day and July 4th as E-City Sundays. We're doing Memorial Day and July 4th as E-City Sundays. And then Memorial Day weekend, trying to find them all real quick, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure about Memorial Day weekend, so I'll get that answer. And if someone has already commented in with that answer, I would appreciate that. Avis Bonner, if the SAVE Act passes and it requires a birth certificate to match government ID for voting, what steps should a married woman take to prepare? What documents and actions are needed? That's a great question. I can address that in my coffee chat. In my Until All Thrive podcast, Avis. And so what I will tell you, though, is this. I see no scenario by which the SAVE Act passes in its current form. I personally do not. There are some paths forward, and I will help you, and I will get that question answered now that I know it's important. There is a big billboard. There are big billboard that says divorce is a sin. Is that biblical? So that's a difficult question, because here's the biblical definition of sin: missing the mark. So the biblical definition of sin is missing the mark. Think about a dartboard, and think about that one spot in the middle, and then you got the next ring, the next ring, the next ring, the next ring. And you throw a dart, and the goal is to bullseye it. If I get off to the side, even though I'm still on the board, that's missing the mark, which means I sin. So yes, in that regard, divorce is a sin. But in that regard, we have to also be mindful that gossiping, every time we get a word from God and we disobey it or we rebel against it, not eating and taking care of the stewardship of our bodies, all of that is sinful. So I don't want us to become legalistic and Pharisees, and I appreciate the question. What I would suggest to you is that I would not be overly concerned and consumed with it, because God is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and cleanse us from all of our unrighteousness. So whether it is divorce, whether it is poor stewardship of my body, whether it's the mismanagement of my money, whether it's my refusal to tithe, whether it's my refusal to serve, whether it's my refusal to vote, whether to participate in government authorities, whatever it is, if it's my lack of prayer, whatever the sin is in my life, the important thing is to confess it to God so that He can forgive us, cleanse us from it, and we can move on. And you should check out Bible study on Tuesday if you didn't, because I talk about that great gift that God gives us regarding that, no longer attaching our sins to us. Diana Bryant, will there be a corporate prayer session because of the crisis happening in our world and to pray for local troops? That is a great question. What I will tell you is that prayer will be a part of our prayer conference. So we are praying next Saturday. We have a 3-hour prayer conference, and we absolutely will be including what is going on in our world. And we should all continue to pray about it individually and in our small groups. A question for Angela Carmichael: how are these elders chosen? That is a great question. That language will be in the bylaw change amendment, but everyone who is currently a board of director member and everyone who's currently a board of elders has been given the option to participate in that training process. Most of them have agreed. Based upon the criteria that we've laid out, you have to be a member for at least 2 years. You have to be actively participating in the life of the church. There's a whole list of things. You have to meet the biblical qualifications in Titus. So there are biblical qualifications there Others are invited. There is an invitation-only process, and so you have to be invited to participate. But it is a great question, and it does include church-wide endorsement as those individuals go through the process, because they will be elders to this church. And so the members will have to say, yes, I'm good with that elder. Okay. So thank you for that question. Stress the importance of subscribing for YouTube so that people can get notified. So again, this is a great point that's raised. Please, if you are on YouTube, we are really trying to make YouTube our principal platform. And because of that, we really want you to subscribe so that we know you're out there, right? Just imagine you don't come to church with a hood on. You don't come to church as an invisible person. We know you're here. Subscribing in those channels. And if you don't know how to do that, reach out to Pastor Rhonda, and she can certainly help you there. Joyce Severin, do you already have someone in mind as your successor? That's a great question. I do not. I do think that so let me tell you what that process will look like, Joyce. And I'm trying to go fast because I want to be done in an hour. There will be a candidate profile and a church profile created. That candidate profile and church profile will go to a select group of pastors around the country. These are pastors that I have close working relationship with. They will go to Brian Carter. It will go to Brian Carter. It will go to Charlie Dates. It will go to John Jenkins. It will go to Jamal Bryant. It will go to Brian Carter. It will go to Matt Watley. It will go to John Faison. It will go to pastor friends that I've developed over the years to say, do you have potential candidates that you like to share? Please share this information with. And then we will get all of their feedback. They'll go through a very sophisticated process to apply. And then we will see what comes out of that. And so that's the process. And there are people that I think that I do have thoughts of that are around the country. And so we'll see what the Lord does. I can assure you, though, that I'm really excited about the process and about what God will do as a result of the succession process. What is the process of washing feet for us who aren't familiar? So great. Pastor Stephanie is about to put that out. And so we're going to walk you through a quick little bullet point. Wash your feet ahead of time. It's going to be 1 foot only. So it's not feet washing, it's a foot washing. So we will go through. There will be a quick little cheat sheet for you with bullets. So no worries. We got you all set up for that. Okay. Ruth Parker, what are affinity groups? Affinity groups are people that share common interests. People who like to crochet. People who like to walk early in the morning. People who ride motorcycles together. People who RV together. People who share common interests. They have an affinity. And as a result of that, they want to form a small group based upon their affinity, but they also have a discipleship model relative to that affinity. Jerry Carter, I still love the WCC family and would love to be where I was 21 years ago. You and I both, Jerry. But I cannot. Are we still considered members in good standing, even though our participation? Yeah, I mean, the membership piece, this is why the E-City platform, Jerry, is so important, because we want you logging in. We still, of course, want people giving. We want people finding if there's ways they can serve. And that sometimes is promoting a social media. Sometimes that's sharing a post, sharing a Substack writing that I do. But I think there's so many ways to be a valued, active member on the E-City campus. So absolutely. And this is the last question I have for the group. Deborah Campbell, anything for individuals with physical challenges at the wellness campus? That's a great question. The workout that we do is at your own pace. And I think he has, and Pastor Stephanie can lean in on this. I think Derby Howe, who's doing the training for us, has even scaled back a little bit so beginners can really do it. But when we build out the actual wellness campus, there will absolutely be opportunity for those with physical disabilities and challenges, differently abled people, to be able to participate. So they'll be able to get on the swing with their walker, or get on the swing with their wheelchair, or things like that. So be mindful that we are definitely keeping that in mind. Well, that's it. That's all the questions. I'm recapping, and then we're going to play the song one last time. as we get out of here. Thank y'all so very much for being on today. I want to encourage you to share this with other people. Can't wait to see you at worship. Today in this coffee chat, we discussed the fact that time is going forward tonight and we will lose an hour's sleep, but I will still see you at 8 a.m. Church anniversary next weekend, starting on Friday. Participate in all of our Lent. Participate in Bible study. We have Word Tab Espanol. Sunday, March 29th at 12 noon is our family business meeting right after our 9 a.m. worship. Holy Week, all the things, even a Maundy, Thursday service this year. Good Friday's going to be off the chain. Easter Sunday's going to be off the chain. Men, I'm coming for you. No men on the sideline, no men on the bench. No gifted people on the sideline, no gifted people on the bench. Serve at Word, Pastor's Anniversary, Impact Point, Wellness Campus. And y'all, I'm out of here. Here is the Word Tabernacle, Everyone Thriving welcome song.
We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will say, come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are everyone thriving. We are in the community with God's authority till everyone is heard. Go and spread the word. Everyone thriving. Everyone thriving. We are family word in the community. Here we are once again. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, you belong. We say welcome home. It's no accident. It's God's providence. So together we will say, come on, clap your hands. We are family. We are